Movies. This is a podcast where we get together sometimes and talk about ideas for movies. They don't always get wrapped up as neatly, but sometimes they do. You'll see. This one is going to be really, 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 really good. I'm Sean.
I'm Eric.
I'm Summer.
I'm Jackie.
I'm Justin.
Would it be funny if I talked for like 5 minutes before I said my
know.
name one time?
It might work because I constantly am waiting for you to I was because now
You're holding your breath. Like,
now you're you know me. I'm just like waiting for my turn to talk.
yeah, sounds right.
yeah.
I mean, you get a specific look on your face when you're waiting to talk. For sure. Yes, that's it. Mouth open, eyebrows up, completely inhaled and like ready to let it out.
Yeah.
Breathless. So returning guests, thank you for making the trip.
Hello. Thank you.
They took a steam train here, I
we
believe.
did. Steamboat.
Yeah, steamboat. Yep. And they've been traveling the country with the devil. How's the tour been going so far?
It's been going great. You know, it's just great to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Bring your spoons, Jerson.
Yeah, no, it's,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
you don't have to wear a mask talking to the devil. So.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jerson.
That is a good point, and that's something that people don't bring up.
That's right.
that
People
much.
won't talk about that enough.
The devil, he was vaxxed before anybody.
Have you ever considered going by Jerson?
All the time. I tried to make it stick. Like, went to college,
Somebody
different
said
high
that's
schools,
not
yeah,
it.
different jobs. No one
People just
wants
keep
to play
saying that's
ball.
not a name.
You can never find your personalized license plate at the place. So, the tourist spots. A shame. All right. Well, I heard Eric has a really good idea.
I didn't want to okay, I don't want to build it up too much, but I think it's a fucking fantastic idea.
All right. I want to hear it.
Sorry, and I mentioned this to Summer at work, but I stopped.
I don't think you told me about it though.
I stopped myself because I said,
yeah.
No
spoilers.
Save it for the podcast, because I'm
I
somebody
thought
that
we just
hates
got
time
busy and
travel
we forgot
stories.
about it.
What?
I thought we just got busy at the library and forgot about it. And I'm just
No, I
remembering
purposely
now.
made the vanity move of this is too good to waste. I want to see your face when I say it on the podcast.
Oh, you picked a hell of a day. All right.
Yeah, I really did. Holy shit. So I hate time travel stories. I not hate them, but after Back to the Future movies, they've never said anything monumentally new to me.
We know.
Did I have already gone on this spiel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I just find them a bit tedious, and it's always oh, that's why things are the way they are, because you did the thing and they screwed up with the thing. But I also spend an inordinate amount of time thinking about really weird shit, like every time I have jury duty or every time I have a dental appointment, I think, oh my God, I just had this last week. And then somebody tells me no, it was exactly for a dental appointment. It was exactly a year ago to the day that you went to the dentist. But it never feels that way, right? Mm-hmm. Because when I come back from the dentist, out of sight, out of mind, I'm living my life. I'm not thinking about my next dentist appointment because that's future Eric's problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have created a way to actually travel through time to the future efficiently, in a weird mindset. If dumb Eric that's not thinking about his next dentist appointment suddenly one day actually thought about hey, you know what? It's great. I don't have a dentist appointment today. What if that ripped me to the future to my next dentist appointment? Does that make any sense to anyone?
It makes sense, just not in the order of you said I have this really great idea, and then you said that.
I think it's a really
No, I'm so sorry.
Great.
I think it's interesting.
It's a time travel movie where somebody discovered scenario. Let's say it's a gay couple. All right. Two guys in a loving relationship, but one is more responsible and one is more Scottalotti. Okay?
So there's a Scottalotti and then there's a responsible one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And actually, take me out of it because I don't want to tie myself to any fuck up character. Okay? So, all right. So,
Skirtalati.
let's say actually the irresponsible one is always he doesn't plan things and shit like that. And so the partner has to take care of like the dentist appointments, the jury duty shit or whatever. And then he's like, and like the other one just is like constantly like, because he puts it off so much, it always blows up into a huge thing. So the partner is like, I'm going to like give you a nice reminder, like on a day when you don't have to think about it, like halfway through the year or something like that. And it'll be a nice surprise. It's like, you don't have an appointment today. Something stupid like that. But in doing so, it actually just like once he thinks about it, he's there. And he discovers he can't travel backwards. He can only travel
in the
forwards.
future.
And he can only travel on dates of things that he doesn't want to do, like jury duty.
Sounds
See, I don't
terrible.
think jury duty works as well because that's not a regular thing.
It's not.
Like,
Yeah.
It's
Your
not.
idea-
Although I do like the setting of having, because jury duty is like, people are like, I would rather cut off a toe than fucking be here with these people.
Right.
Like, dentist appointments are a little bit more manageable, I find. But I hear your critique. I'm willing
What
to
about,
take
like-
critiques.
What about like renewing your license or like passport or something?
That could work.
Yeah.
But
That
that's
could
only
work.
like every few.
'Cause you're
years.
also
It's
going
not
to
like
the
every
DMV.
year. Yeah.
Are you willing to hear an alternate
Yes.
pitch?
Yeah.
Totally unrelated idea?
Well, wait. How unrelated?
Like a totally separate pitch just as an option.
Okay.
Okay.
There's
see-
this
see
guy
how-
who thinks
see
he
what
has
the
a good
room
idea, right? And
Oh, man. I was like, I put this aside. I think I've got something here. I really do.
Okay, I think
All
my
right.
idea is good too.
Okay.
It's a
This
little
idea
bit
that
more
you just came up
straightforward.
with?
No, it's in my phone. I'll show
Okay,
you.
all right.
Witches versus aliens.
I mean, I'll give you this. It takes less time
Yeah.
to explain.
Yeah, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
And it's an equally
But all right,
good
I can
pitch.
condense mine to time travel,
Time traveling
except
jury
only
duty.
on days where you don't want to be someplace. Like, it sucks.
Okay, so
What if you have an appointment like every week and then your whole life just
Who has appointments every week for the same thing?
okay,
for
let
different stuff, for like
Therapy?
different doctor's appointments?
Oh, you're saying a different appointment for a different thing. You just have an
Yeah.
appointment every week.
like
Yeah, I
What-
don't know if my time travel works that way then, because it has to be something that like you can put off.
me try to work with you a little bit here. What if it's like somehow like the sequel to Jury Duty?
No,
And like we
no,
get Pauly Shore
no,
and he's the main
no,
character
no.
and like we basically do your idea, but it's a little bit of a compromise.
So what if we like kind of go with Eric's idea and it's like
Yes, Jackie.
it's like I don't want this to be another like wishful like granted like weird wish thing again, but like somebody finds himself in a situation where it's like, hey, you have this thing now where it's like if you worry about something, you'll be able to take care of it immediately. But what that means is that as soon as you think about a thing in the future you're worried about, it brings you to that situation immediately and so it's forcing you to like stay in the moment. I don't know. That's like a totally weird.
Well,
I
actually, I
think
think
there
it's
has to be
kind of
some
what
like if you're going with that idea, I think there has to be some sort of catalyst for it
Yeah.
because like not just like it just happens
Right. It can't
randomly
just
the
happen out
one
of the
time, the
blue.
first time,
Right.
but because how could you have not have like ever thought
Right.
one day before you never thought about I do have that appointment or whatever.
It's
don't know.
kind of because it's kind of I think it's honestly kind of a question of like tone, like which is something you can't really illustrate on a podcast, but like it's sort of like a comedy premise more so than
I can see that.
so it's like the joke
Slapstick.
is kind
Yeah.
of like we all fucking hate jury duty, and so it's like it's a joke at the expense of jury duty being like nobody thinks about jury duty when they're not there, and it turns out to be like, oh, if you think about jury duty when you're not there and your next appointment, it actually is the one thing that will pull you ahead to the future to the next appointment.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of like weird reverse Groundhog's Day almost.
It's not reverse Groundhog's
Kind of,
Day.
because you're
It's-
going forward instead of back.
Well, I'm
and
sorry.
on a
I'm
holiday.
going to make a quick
yeah.
little soapbox thing. If those motherfuckers are allowed to remake Groundhog's Day every fucking year and call it like Palm Springs, I'm looking at you, Andy Samberg.
That was a great movie,
That was
and it was
actually
also did
enjoyable.
not come out 1 year after Groundhog's Day.
I didn't say come out 1 year after
Oh,
Groundhog's
you said
Day.
every year though.
No, I'm saying now they're making them like every year. They
right.
did the horror movie, Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You, and they did that palm screen, and I'm like, is this a genre of movie now? It feels
Okay.
like they shouldn't be allowed to do that.
I have an idea, and I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was triggered.
Yeah, no, but I like your idea, Eric, because it makes me think of this like it's like a Buddhist mantra where it's like if you worry about something, you suffer twice. So like you're thinking about like what if there's this girl and she's like new agey and she's kind of like insecure and she really wants to like get her love life back on track and get like her career, blah blah blah.
Right.
But like she like kind of is like she gets her crystals like one night and is like after being she's a witch. Yes.
Okay.
She's a witch.
Okay. Keep
So
going.
she-
Keep
right,
going.
right, so
She's a witch.
Yeah, so she maybe has like the worst day. She gets broken up with some cliche like that,
Okay, yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And she goes to her like crystals and she's like, I just wish for being able to confront my challenges like head on or something where she
I
like
think she's like weaving a spell and
Yeah.
like creating it, but it's
Right, where
wishing
she-
for that same kind of
right
thing.
wishing
Yeah.
for like
Okay.
she's like I want the power to not worry about anything anymore and if immediately confront my challenges.
Yeah.
And so like the way that happens is that and she wants to live in the moment. Okay, she wants to be able to just live in the moment. So that means that like anytime she worries about like anything that's coming up, like if she has like a date or like if she has like something at work or like if she worries about it or thinks about it, it immediately sucks her to that thing and it makes her confront it immediately,
Okay.
no matter how unprepared
So
she
she
might
Yeah,
be.
has
that's
to
better with
learn to not
context.
Right. So she
worry.
has to learn
That's
to not
great.
worry about it,
And she
kinda
has
stay in
no
the
fear
moment.
of death.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm following. I'm following.
I think somehow it is more specific to like not just general worries like worry about my like it's like if you
Right.
worry about a specific thing, you know what I mean, like
So
Yeah,
her.
or if it
Yeah.
like
it's a little fuzzy.
yeah, if you obsess about it, maybe
No,
if
that's
it's like
good.
if
I
you
like
think
it.
about it 3 times or worry about it 2-3 times or
Yeah,
something
maybe
like
there's
that.
like a specific or
threshold
it's like
of like
or it's like
how worried you are about it.
or it's like the condition is like if you do this about things that don't matter, and it becomes also like a weird thing of like her getting sucked into things that like I really thought this did matter, like
Interesting.
yeah, like and she has to like sort of learn, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I take it for
Yeah.
like? Yeah. Go ahead.
If it's time travel, like
But only forward.
if she, I was gonna say like if it's something she's worried about, if she like goes and has to like deal with it, then goes back, and I don't know. That's I guess the opposite of what you were saying. So
Yeah, it's like the opposite butterfly effect, where it's like you don't go back and try to fix things. Like you're immediately sucked into the future and you confront the thing that you're worrying about like right away.
Well, then what that brings up, I think,
Interesting.
is like you're just like missing chunks of your life.
Yeah,
And
right.
did you have to kind of go back and piece together what you did, or did you not do them and you were missing
Yeah.
from society
Right,
for
yeah.
that's why I was saying
Yeah.
that like
Yeah.
going
Oh, okay,
forward,
so
how like
then-
Deal with
living
that.
out that
Right,
part,
So then-
yeah,
and then
totally. You got to figure out how to deal with that.
So then I think I understand more now. So then the thing that you were worried about that you're like, oh God, and it sucks you to that thing. It's probably not as big of a deal, and in sucking you to that moment, you're missing probably something that you should have been.
That's kind of like the larger sort of like
Lesson.
idea of it is that like by worrying about this, you are losing the time that's actually happening because you're worrying about this future that you don't know what it is. It's kind of like a metaphor that you get sucked there, immediately
Yes.
because when you do worry, you just get sucked to a unknowable future. And
Right.
so, sort of then metaphorically you miss like the actual moment that's
Yeah.
going on.
I
So-
like that. I really like that. I think that. Okay, so now I want to know. So like, who is this woman? This. I mean, I always. I guess-
Sabrina.
Okay, her name. Her name
no,
is.
no, I'm kidding. No.
She's a teenager.
I think that like, I do think it's a young person because
Yeah.
you're thinking about your future life.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
young people have normal names now, so let's name her something normal because that's the new trend.
Okay. Actually, is the trend? Is it now an old trend to be named something like an old lady, like Gertrude or something?
I think so.
Okay.
Probably.
I think they're still mixed in, but most names, I think we looked at the list. I think most names now are like names.
Oh, we're back to names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Are we past like Paxson and Jason? And
Oh God, I hope so.
Olivieri and
Yeah,
okay.
Jerson.
Sure.
Okay, so
Past Jerson. I'm not fixating on it.
what name?
I don't know. Emily.
Ooh, Emily.
No.
Okay.
How
Yeah.
about what about Amy?
Amy.
That's a good one.
That's a
That's
great
a good
name.
one. Yeah.
How about Amy?
Yeah. Amy's always a good name to put in the title too. I feel like.
Is it? Just
don't
in
know.
I'm trying
general?
to think of a movie
Like
title.
Chasing Amy?
Yeah, to take-
Oh, okay,
take-
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, what movies? Okay. So her problem, is she like super anxiety girl? Like, is she like,
Yeah.
probably, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Like maybe that's why she started with the crystals and became
Right.
Wiccan.
And in over worrying about things, it's the least active thing you can do.
Right, exactly.
So she doesn't have a lot of, probably connections or friends, maybe. Well, maybe she does. I don't know.
Maybe she spends a lot of time with her crystals and like weaving these spells, and like that's sort of her coping mechanism, and then like to get her out of it, it somehow works.
Yeah.
And then like starts.
Because I think I
you know,
envision
sending
her
her
as like a
forward.
young girl who really does like literally worry about everything. And I know only 2 of the people in this room have ever been like a young woman, young girl, but like just
Are you
speaking for
including
myself,
yourself in that?
I am
Oh,
including
because I was
myself
like-
in that. But there is like there comes period. I'm sure it comes period in everybody's life, but it's just like you worry about everything. Your dating, your friends, like your career, like that age is kind of between like 20 and 25. At least for me, we're like super insecure.
Oh, I mean, like, I not to speak for everybody, but like, I think that this is like, if we're being honest with ourselves, like, I mean, that was, if it's an experience for young girls, and it was a female experience that I had in my life, like,
Yeah,
like,
I think
and
it's pretty
continue-
universal actually.
I and continue to do so. Like,
Yeah.
like I worry so. I know I don't feel like I always come off that way, but like I am always constantly thinking and fretting and
Yeah.
like constantly like and a lot of that, and like I don't know if this is true for everybody here, but like high school through college and after, like constantly like clashing with like questions of identity and like who the real me is. Is it the like best version of me,
Right.
or is it the ugliest version of me? Obviously,
Half
people
of
always
it.
respond
Right.
with the like, well, it's both. But
right.
I'm like,
and
but,
how much,
right, but who
how
is
much
that?
is in my right, and how much in my life is like what I want, and how much is it like versus what society tells me like I should have or want or pursue, and
And
like
is
all those
the-
kinds of things.
Yeah, and is the
Yeah.
Jackee, the real Jackee? I mean, like she has to be some. I don't mean to put you on the spotlight.
Am I the character?
But I mean, like something,
Amy.
something I've always been fascinated by is like the notion of being like you're like, well, I don't like this about myself, so I'm actually going to do the work, become a better person, become this, and this, and because I kind of, these are the things I like, I'm going to take them into my personality and help forge my personality into something that I am proud of.
Yeah.
But in doing so, like, there's always a level of artifice to like
Oh
who
yeah.
you are.
Well, that process is never like, oh, I'm going to decide to do this and then I do it. It's like, yeah, I want to be a better person, but there's like 8 different roads that are in front of you. Or like, oh, I could do this. I could, what is a better person? What does that mean to you? So it's like getting there is not like I decided and then I'm going to go. It's like, that's why she's trying the crystals. That's why she's like, maybe she's trying these different things to be like, God, I got to figure out my life,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to take that detour.
It's okay. I think along those lines, like half of figuring out yourself is like figuring out who you are, and half of it is deciding,
Right.
Right.
kind of.
You have
But-
to
so that's-
you have
that's what
to
I'm
like
doing.
realize, and I think a lot of times when we meet people who are like real characters are like, I find it's often people that like can't disassociate like what they want to be perceived as versus like how they are being perceived, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think we've just gotten away from our movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of like interested in this new path that we've taken with it, but like I think that getting back to the character Amy, she's somebody that's like makes no decisions because she's
Yeah.
overwhelmed by
Yes.
all decisions.
Yes.
She's like, for example, she's petrified of driving. Maybe could be something like
I
she's
identify.
Yeah.
oh yeah, like she's
I am almost 35 and don't have my license.
that is totally fine. That's totally fair. I actually was just thinking about somebody recently who has a daughter that's like of that age, and she's like we can't get her in the car, and like I'm just using that as an example.
Oh, yeah, no,
but
totally.
but she does that with everything maybe, and when she like frets about whatever the first problem is, it immediately takes her there, and we have to jump into the future. Somewhat.
I think jury duty is a good one to start with.
Yeah,
if that's
I
what you
think
wanted
so
to.
too.
And you probably
Yeah.
sure can be the judge at least.
I mean, that would be pretty good and pretty crazy because they're asking her questions she legitimately doesn't know the answer to.
Like what?
Or it's just sort of like where it's like she
She's
has
just
to,
disoriented, and they're like
she's
asking all these
disoriented
questions.
and like
Yeah.
she doesn't know where she works and like
Right. Or they even have you in the last week, blah blah blah, and she's like, I didn't experience the last week. Like,
Yeah.
and they're like, ma'am.
Have
yeah,
you seen details of this case?
yeah,
In
no,
the
but
in the news in the
Yeah.
last month or whatever.
yeah,
or
but
something
no,
like that.
I like that because it's somebody needs to make decisions, like insecurity, like trying lots of things. And just, I just think kind of, anybody can identify with that sort of like just the overall, worrying about things and, that taking you out of the moment. I think that's pretty like universal.
I have a question about the. Go ahead.
I had another one about like she's bound. You lose a week or you lose whatever. She's bound to be worried about what happened in that last week.
Yeah.
How does that affect her? Is she going to be worried about
yeah.
the past and get transported there in
can
any
she
way?
get
Could that be
dragged to-
any sort of solution?
Yeah.
That could
Maybe
be
she-
that could take care of the problem of like what's happening in those weeks that she just keeps bouncing back and forth between
Oh,
Well, I was
yeah.
gonna say, like,
different things that are like
Yes.
Yeah,
that she's
worrying
worrying about what happened, what's going to happen,
Right.
and going all around.
But it's never anything that happened in her past that she experienced, like the experienced past.
Right. All those worries, like she gets plopped back just in different ways. So maybe
Right.
it is more of a jerky kind of timeline.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's not always forward, but it's always like the trajectory is always going forward. She's never going to go back to her childhood or
Right,
anything
right.
like that,
It's
but
always going to be in whatever some future is for her.
after she made that spell.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I think this makes more sense as a movie. And
I like
so then she's like kind of piecing her life together in an out of order way, like she's watching a TV series out of order, and then
Yeah, that's a good way
she
to-
maybe
Yeah, I like that.
needs to, at the end, find herself in, where she's supposed to be
well, what
somehow, right?
Yeah.
what Eric was
Yeah.
saying about like trying to get some kind of continuity between just her life in general and realizing that the way to do that is instead of trying to figure out what to do, figure out like what is important to her and who she like
Yeah.
and figuring out who she is. That means figuring out what is important to her, and that's what she's making the decisions on, and then getting
Yeah.
so that everything
Yeah.
hangs
So like
together.
just
Like
letting go of all the frivolous things
Yeah.
and deciding what it is that.
Or she
Yeah.
even decides that, like, if she gets stuck to a situation she's worried about and she doesn't know how to handle it, like, if she's, depending on what the situation is, just, like, if she just learns to be honest and, like, in the moment and say, like, I don't know how to handle this. I don't know what to
Right.
do. Like, I don't, instead
Because-
of trying to worry about doing what the correct or right or best
Yeah,
thing to do
or
is.
maybe she even just like it 2/3 of the way through the movie or something realizes that she can just like close her eyes and meditate and
yeah, and
take
like,
calming
yeah.
breaths, and she'll be back where she needs to be or something.
Yeah. Maybe it's not that easy.
I'm
but
gonna,
Not
no,
that easy.
no.
It's something like
it's,
that.
I could see the movie being that, but I actually think when we started talking about this, I started thinking about like a valuable lesson for this character to learn. And obviously, it's like you got to be in the moment, or you got to be like you have to make a decision. But I also, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Okay, maybe she's
Keep
like
going.
really worried about aliens, and she jumps far into the future just one time.
Oh, I got it. Okay, thank you. It's about the fact that she can't actually clean out the timeline. So she is dealt a shitty situation, shitty hand because she had to make a decision because she got thrust into it, and that is now her timeline. And now she's just like, that's the lesson. Is like there is no going back. You made the decision. Now you just have to move forward from that.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
thing. Like she's
We maybe think that they have
obsessed
to go
with
back
piecing-
and clean it up, but
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
possible.
Eventually, she
Right.
lets that go. Yeah, I
'Cause
like
it's not
that.
possible
I think
in
that's
real
a
life
good
either.
way to-
Yeah.
it's a good way to wrap it up.
No, I like that
something.
a lot. Yeah.
And if if that thing can be alien related, I'll be happy. But if it's not, that's okay too.
all that emotional stuff was just like Act 1 and 2, and the third act is just the
And then
witch
it's like,
alien
yeah,
war.
no,
Yeah, it's-
no.
Yeah.
Actually, that is
Starship
that
Troopers
is
3.
yeah. That is a not movie turn of it being like
So-
we did what you think, and then it's like so the real lesson is just you made the decision, and now where do we go from here? And it's like great, no shit, guys, we got aliens. That's we got to deal with these fucking aliens.
I
So
like
what are the aliens doing?
I think, like...
Let's just let this be what happened.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, maybe it's some sort... I don't know how we can contrive it to be some
crystals
sort of...
tied to the crystals.
Oh,
Yeah.
the crystals are what the aliens
Yeah.
are coming looking for.
Oh, I think that they are of a race. They're like the
Or they're-
crystalloids.
Oh, the aliens are the crystals, and these are like they're embryos or something, maybe. And they're
Yes.
trying to get them, yeah. And then, I lost it.
No, you're doing great. Come
okay,
on.
so like maybe the big decision that she has to make is whether to eat. I mean, maybe one of them is like whether to give up her crystals. Does she think she can live her life without them? I don't know. Yes, now she's prepared. She can do it. She can let go of them. Then another big decision she has to make is like whether to tell the world about these aliens that she.
I was gonna say it's like she's
encounter.
now got a really big decision. It's like now your really big decision is like how much alien ass are you gonna kick?
I didn't know you were gonna say kid. Yeah, I did.
I had the same thought.
Y'all are dirty.
Maybe she finds true crystalline alien love.
That's a twist.
And then she's
That
like worried
certainly is
about
a
like.
twist.
Then she worries about like, can we procreate? Slam cut to her giving birth.
Wow.
To like a
That would be awful.
sparkly.
Crystalloid baby.
Yeah. Maybe he'll just have a crystal inside his heart.
Oh.
Thank you for listening to Not
Really?
It's a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger. Holy crap.
I mean, we didn't really stick the landing, but we
But
can
that's
keep trying if
okay.
you want.
I don't know. I mean, like I really, you pitched out aliens. I said, okay, let's
I know,
run with
Let's
it, and then
do
you're
it.
like,
Called my bluff.
fuck it, no way. I called your bluff.
No. I mean, I think like that. I like the aliens idea coming in there, but
Wait, you pitched witches versus aliens, and you basically got what you wanted.
exactly.
Okay, all right. God, I'm stupid.
Did you not see that was where that was going?
I honestly,
Well,
we finally got into
I knew
sort
exactly
of Jackie's
what was
angle.
happening.
Hold on,
We got into Jackie's angle on the pitch, and I forgot about your aliens thing.
but we only wrote witch versus aliens.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. It was only one witch, and she really wasn't
Well,
Very
maybe
witchy.
she needs some witchy
On the
on
friends
the
to fight
opposite
these
side of the
aliens.
She didn't fight a single alien.
Maybe
That was just
loved
my
her-
pitch,
she made
'cause I love
sweet,
Starship
sweet love
Troopers.
to mine.
Maybe she needed the help of a coven to help her with her time travel problem. And
Is
then
this
she's
a
got...
new, like,
No,
bit you have, like, Silent Bob, where you say one thing in the whole podcast, and then
That's
it's like...
always been my thing, Eric.
And
I
it's her
always
No,
put
you
together.
interject. You used to interject throughout when you would get frustrated when Sean and I would just be circling, and you'd be like,
Well, you
"What
put it-
about they just do this?"
That's what I'm doing again. That's what I do.
All right, so they have to go find a coven.
She finds a coven to help her, and then she's got a bunch of coven witchy friends, and then they already have an alien problem, and she helps with their alien
So
problem.
then she realizes, okay. So then she realizes it wasn't the crystals. She had the magic inside her all along. That's why she can jump. That's her witch power.
Yeah,
These are friends we
she's
made
a
along the
time
way.
traveler.
Friends you made along the way.
That's
And then
the
she
name of the
finds out,
movie.
she's like, really, it's not, because I actually am in my future and I have no friends.
She makes friends with the alien.
No, we're fighting the aliens, Summer. We're fighting the
Damn it.
aliens.
Okay.
That's why she needs the coven, as you
Well,
said.
maybe, okay, so maybe she
Oh,
goes
I
to
didn't
the
know we were
coven,
taking my idea.
and the coven, she, like one, maybe it's just one of the crystals that she has that's actually an alien egg. So she goes to the coven, and they're like, "Oh my God, you have this. This is what we've been looking for. This is the leverage we need." And then they're able to like
Break the spell on her?
break the spell somehow, and also vanquish the aliens who have been plaguing them and trying to like take over the town. Like Summer said, this has been an issue that the witches have been dealing with for a while. They've just been like, bothering them.
Secret.
Yeah, and they've been keeping it secret, thinking it's their witchly duty to do it. What are they going to do? Call the cops?
Witchly duty.
But
Yeah.
So then they're like, okay, this is the leverage we need. They basically like hold this thing hostage, and then they're like, we'll give it back, but you have to leave us alone.
And then,
And then they
do,
do.
do, 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 and they're like, no, sorry, not do, 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 do. Ring, 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 click. It's the President of the United States.
Uh-huh. What does he say?
I was volleying that up to you.
I don't know. I don't like that idea. It doesn't.
Congratulations,
really fit with my pitch.
Coven. You did it once again.
Wrong number.
Okay.
man.
All right. So they vanquish all the crystalloids,
Yeah.
and they realize that all your problems in life aren't from life itself.
It was
it's
aliens.
the crystalloids.
Right.
It's the alien
It's the
crystalloids.
alien crystalloids that
Now-
you are unknowingly keeping in your bedroom as worship crystals.
And she says, I don't feel anxious anymore. I don't feel nervous about my life. Making decisions, it's not a big deal if I don't make any decisions.
She
I
was
think
like,
the
"I've
decision
seen-
that she makes is that she like really wants to be an auto mechanic, and she decides to go to auto mechanic school, and that's what she's gonna do for the rest of her life. She just realized it.
She's
Was
like, I've
there-
seen aliens.
What?
Nothing matters anymore.
Nothing matters. There you go.
Ah, you should
The
follow
end.
her dreams. Yeah, fiend.
Cut.
Great job, guys.
Any
Nailed
questions?
it. Absolutely
Is it
nailed
called
it.
Aliens versus Witches?
Witches?
And
No,
we
I
give
got a
up the
title. It's called...
Yeah.
Wait, her name's Amy?
Amy, yeah.
Amy?
Chasing.
No, it's called Amy Which Way. Because she's thinking about all the different decisions and paths she makes, and which is spelled
Oh my
What if
W-I-T-C-H.
it's just Witch Amy?
This is like a joint presentation of Sci-Fi Channel and Hallmark.
No, actually, that is very right. That is true. That is very much a Hallmark title.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was it again?
Amy Which Way.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
that's
any
all
which
right.
way. Okay, I didn't get that the
Yeah.
first
That's
time.
fine.
Amy,
It'll
Yeah.
make more sense visually when you see
which
the
way are you spelling
when you
which?
see the right way, the
Okay.
W-I-T-C-H.
Well, okay, it's a pun, so I didn't know which the right way was. Amy, which way?
The joke will land more on a poster because
And-
it doesn't sound like any, but when you see Amy,
You're like, oh.
you're like, okay.
What if it's just which Amy?
No, do Amy
This-
Which Way.
this-
give Eric.
But
This
like
Hollywood-
W-H-I-C-H.
This Hollywood
which
suit
Amy?
coming in here
Question
trying
mark.
to hold me back, trying to restrain my creativity.
Give Eric this one.
We'll give
Wait,
Eric
but
this
he-
one.
Yeah.
But I need
I got one vote for which Amy?
Oh, yes, yes.
What were you gonna say though?
but I need a win.
Okay.
No,
right.
go ahead, Justin. I'm kidding.
No, that was it.
Okay.
All right. Well, Amy, which way? You'll do the poster for this one, and I'll do the other one.
Sure.
All right. Binding verbal contract, and that's all we got.
Yeah.
Right?
All
That's all
right.
we got in the tank.
Welcome
So
back to
we'll see you in
Not
another fucking
Movies.
year or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, are we Amy?
Ugh, we're all Amy. You know it.
I don't know. Imagine if like Amy catches on as like the new term, like instead of a Karen, but like,
I actually
it's
think an
an
Amy
for,
is
like,
a great term
Yeah.
for
yeah,
someone.
for like
For-
someone who's like obsessed with crystals and aliens and
And
shit.
existential angst.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this a weird time to tell you that I actually don't experience my life, but my life consciousness is just every time we're in this room? So like literally the last thing I remember was the last time we were in this room.
Not even the virtual not movies that we did.
What? We did that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been
You know,
okay
I
with
think
you
we
driving us
read
here if I knew
Tic Tac
that.
or something. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, another perfect episode.
Yep.
Wait, did we want to cast anybody? I don't think we did
Oh,
that for the last
okay.
one.
Do you want to do a 2-in-1 casting sesh?
Oh, sure. Go back and listen to our other episode for this all to make sense.
Yes, for the
well,
mira-
we'll cast this one first.
For the miraculous Mason brothers. Who do we
Let's do that one second.
Okay,
Okay.
so Amy,
Yeah. Who's Amy?
who do you see? Who's like a young actor that you like?
Yeah. So I'm old and outside of pop culture. So I'm like, who do I know? Zendaya? Like,
I hate to say that. That was also my first
yeah.
idea.
No, I'm like, I don't.
But, like,
I'm sorry,
I feel
but
like
who is Zendaya?
She is. This is not going to mean anything to you. She's Mary Jane in the Spider-Man movies, which
I
I'm sure.
didn't even know that. I just know she's a young popular
and
actress.
she's on an
Okay.
HBO series called Euphoria.
Yes, I knew. Yeah, that's what
which
I know.
is very intense.
I've never watched it, but I know she's on it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the
Who you got?
actress from Grownish, that I don't know her name.
Oh yeah. Okay. Which one? The older daughter or the young? Well, no.
Zozo. We've been watching Blackish a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know that actress's name, but the one who plays Zoe on Blackish, and she's also on Grownish.
Okay. So the older daughter.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. Great.
That's-
Perfect.
Love it.
All right. Should we look up her name?
Now
Yeah, people
I
know her
need
name.
7 different
on the
actors
poster.
playing the crystalloids. No, that was a joke. That was a joke. Don't.
Danny
Okay.
DeVito.
Warwick Davis.
Oh, so they're small.
Not all of them. No, all different shapes and sizes.
Okay, so
Ryan
Danny-
Stiles. We got a squad. Well, it could
Larry
be,
Bird.
wait, hang on. It could. Maybe we don't want to. Maybe we want to save like Ryan Stiles and Danny DeVito for the Mason brothers.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
We got a tall, skinny, and a short.
Oh yeah,
Short guy,
I
yep.
forgot that was a part of their whole
Whole bit.
whole thing. Okay, great.
All right. Perfect.
Love it.
All right. Thank you for listening to Not
Yes.
Movies. Subscribe,
Thanks, guys.
Rate us. Thank you again for
Thank you guys
coming
for
by.
coming.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
What else? Am I supposed to say anything else?
I don't know, man. It's been so long.
Bye.
It's been a while.
All right.